It's a beautiful morning. We've got clear blue skies, but the weather forecast is rain later, so I've got a couple of hours to try and pack in what I want to do today. You know, I had intended this video to be all about my pond. I was going to restock it because it's been dormant most of autumn and winter. It was moved when I started to remodel the garden. But another issue has cropped up which has knocked me sideways, to be honest. So I made a discovery yesterday afternoon with the strawberries that are growing in the grey troughs, which are next to my trellis. These I'd saved from my old garden. When I say the old garden, it's this garden, but it was before it was remodelled. But it looks very, very much like they've all got Mosaic virus, which is devastating. And this was the whole purpose of me remodelling the garden and putting in raised beds. I don't want to go into too much detail about it because I've got other videos that you can look at that explains everything. It's highly contagious. It spreads mainly by aphids, and it will affect any plant that's got any damage. That's its point of entry. And once a plant has got the Mosaic virus, the leaves start to mottle. They go from their natural colour to a sort of a limey green, yellow mottled pattern. So it's quite distinctive. When I look back with the old garden, where I'm sitting now used to be the fruit cage, and I had loganberries all along this part of the fence, and at the base of the loganberries I had a patch of phlox and a patch of isomachia. And quite a few years back, the isomachia and the phlox, every time the new shoots started returning every spring, I noticed they'd got this mottling. Initially I thought it was a deficiency, so I used to give them lots of Epsom salts, all the remedies that are suggested in gardening books and websites, and never really did anything. Then it spread to the loganberries, and then over a period of a few years it started to spread throughout the garden until it was decimating absolutely everything, and there's nothing you can do about it. And you can transmit it on your hands, your tools, your clothing, even your pet dog. Paddy would sunbathe amongst the plants, and I think he was spreading it from plant to plant. So it was devastating, and that's why I took everything out the garden, remodelled it, put in new raised beds and brought in new soil, and everything that I've planted since is doing beautifully. But there is a couple of plants that I kept which I thought were okay, and now I realise was not a wise. I've got clear signs of the Mosaic virus. My action for today is to be methodical, to be clinical. So I need to gather up everything I need to remove these plants. So anything from the greenhouse I want to get out of the greenhouse and then not re-enter it or touch the door handle or anything like that. Make up a solution of disinfectant so I can keep dipping my tools. Use some bin bags to cover the plants before I remove them. They're going out in the general waste, they can't be composted. And then when all that is done, I need to go indoors and wash all my clothes and have a shower, and leave the tools in the disinfectant before I even dare go back in the greenhouse. So that's my plan for today, so wish me luck. Thankfully the rose was not affected previously, and it doesn't appear to be now. because I think if I lost that I'd be devastated. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to move this bean frame, because I'm unsure whether these strawberries are infected or not in this bed. They're behind the netting, so they can't be touched, but I don't want to risk, if I put in my beans, that they will become infected. So to err on the side of caution, the first thing I'm going to do is relocate them. Okay, so this has been moved. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to tackle these. I don't want soil all over my little patio area. I'm thinking of sliding some black bags over them, and then when my son's around, get him to help me carry them out to the driveway and then deal with them out there away from the garden. So that was relatively easy. I hardly touched the foliage at all. They're all sealed up, so we can, between us, carry them out through the garden without the danger of them touching anything, and then I can dispose of them. Okay, it's done. So I've managed to move the bean structure, so that's in a new bed. I've wrapped up the strawberry troughs, and my son and I got them out the front. They've all been bagged up. The troughs have been scrubbed with disinfectant. They're now drying in the sun. My tools have been disinfected. They're drying in the sun. I've been scrubbed. My clothes are in the washing machine. I've scrubbed my shoes. I don't know what else I can do. If that is not enough, and it starts to go through this garden, then I don't even want to think about it. So I'm going to keep my fingers crossed. I'm going to end this video. It's a short one. It wasn't the video that I intended to do this week. So just brush this one off. It was a good job of a bad situation that's been sorted. And hopefully I can turn my attention back to my pond, which was what I wanted to do in the first place. So I hope you're all having a better week than I am in the garden, and I'll speak to you soon.